So tell me, what is it that you're focused on in your conversations with corporate leaders, and what do you think can be accomplished?
Yeah, dealing with this challenge of race in America is critically important today. It always has been, but now we have a special moment and a special opportunity. And as a state treasurer, I have a front row seat to Wall Street and the influence that they hold in America. As a parent, I also have a front row seat to raising two Black boys. And so all of this informs my work in this space. And I am looking to build a coalition of the willing, not the perfect, and corporate CEOs who are interested in making long-term sustainable change to affect the underlying issues. So addressing police reform, absolutely, but looking broader than that at things such as economic disparities. And their studies have shown that if we address the economic disparities in our country, we can increase our GDP by 4 to 6% over the next 10 years.
Now, what are the ways to address economic disparities you think that make sense and perhaps are different from the ways that it's been tried in the past that don't seem to have worked?
I think we have to do some of the things that we've known about the past that have constrained the economy as it relates to minority communities, such as access to capital. So efforts, some that you reported on, of increasing access to capital investments into banking institutions that provide support and will invest, right? And this is about making proper investments for the long-term benefit of our country and our communities. It's not simply about philanthropy. And so we've heard Robert Smith talk a lot about the capillaries. Things like that, those are ways to address this. Additionally, we need to focus in my conversation with CEOs, in addition to a call to action to impact the country on these critical issues, they also need to look in the mirror of corporations and look at how corporations can do better internally. And so we've also talked about corporate board diversity, diversification of pipelines, and so forth.
Sean, it's actually a great day to have this conversation because Netflix is a good example today. $100 million commitment, allocating a certain percentage of their cash to financial institutions that specifically fund Black communities. I wonder whether it's that or maybe it's something else. Is there an example where you say to yourself, that's what I'm talking about?
Well, Netflix is a good example of that's what I'm talking about. It's going beyond the kind of the great statements of support, sympathy for the killings and so forth, and putting concrete things into action. So Netflix is an excellent example. There are other examples of where there are funds that have been created to do small business lending. Early on, myself and others called out the federal government's response on the PPP, Small Business Loan Program, and how phase one of that largely bypassed minority businesses. So it was taking existing inequalities already in our system and doubling down on it. We've seen it in the healthcare space with this COVID-19 pandemic and how the Black community has been disproportionately impacted again. And so, yes, there are some excellent examples out there. And I am in this coalition that I'm building, looking to take best practices and to scale them and to bring them to a wider audience and ideas. So we have different corporations that are doing some very innovative work, and we have others that are not, but are interested in getting off the sidelines and contributing. And that's what I'm building.